I'm requesting all of you to take your seat, please. So soon we are going to start. Actually, we are waiting for our few guests. Even if suppose our Honorable IT Minister should join, but huge traffic jam is on the road, and there is uncertainty that he may not join because he is taking too long. It may take too long time, and it's more than 1 hour. Okay, so now actually the time is there already. We are again sorry for the late starting. We are going to start our seminar. You know, the seminar name is Bangladesh Japan IT Opportunities. And it's a great pleasure to extend to all of you a very warm welcome on behalf of the seminar co-organizer, BJIT Limited. A special guest, we are still waiting for them and the chief guest. So it's our great pleasure again to share that here is participating from Japan IT industry around 19 organizations. And 19 organization key people and founder is here today's seminar. IT industry leader of Bangladesh also joining today. Representative from JICA, JETRO, and the embassy is also here. As I know, JICA is very soon, they will be till they are on the way because of huge traffic, uncertain traffic. So a special thanks to all foreign guests from 19 different organizations for your kind consideration to come Dhaka to join this SoftExpo 2019. Thank you very much. A special thanks to BGIT Incorporation CEO, Mr. Akashi, for his kind support and organize and manage all this big team together, and happen that they all are here today at our SoftExpo and today's seminar joining. So today's discussion subject, again, I'm repeating, Bangladesh Japan IT opportunities. You may be aware that there is a huge opportunity for Bangladeshi people, especially for software engineer, to work in Japan, and offshore software development at Dhaka for Japanese companies. So this is really an opportunity. We need to study more and know how to catch this opportunity for Bangladeshi IT companies. This is not only for Bangladesh, this will be a win-win collaboration for both Japan and Bangladesh. So now, you know, Mr. J.M. Akbar is working for global market, especially in Japan market, last 30 years. So after his graduation from Dhaka University and IT graduation from Japan, he started his career journey in an IT and hardware-based all-leading company on that time, name is Tijon, in 1988. So after that, 2001, he has founded BJIT at Dhaka. Now, around 600 engineers are working at Dhaka and 7 different countries globally. Last 20 years, he is trying to introduce and promote Bangladesh IT industry to Asia, America, and Europe. He will provide the key speech. Let's welcome him, Mr. J.M. Akbar, founder of BJIT Group.
日本からお越しいただいている皆様、ようこそバングラデシュへ。ようこそバングラデシュへ。多分日本から来られている会社の数ですね。日本人ではバングラデシュ初じゃないかなと思います。本当に心から感謝を申し上げます。今日ですね。Today my topic is opportunities of Bangladesh and Japan, IT. As Mehdi introduced me, I'm from software industry. I don't have too much knowledge about other industry because I'm working for the software industry for a long time, and especially with Japan. So I was trying to make a presentation from my experience that how I can explore my ideas and something maybe the business model between Bangladesh and Japan, we can explore from now. First of all, maybe you know about the world IT service market size. Last year, as I know, it was 4 trillion US dollar, and this year estimated about 5 trillion US dollar. So this is the real size. USA have GAFA, and they have 35% share, and I think Europe and UK, they have around 20% share, over than 20%. And Japan, they have 7% share, which is a huge amount of market is 350 billion US dollar. This is estimated this year, and nowadays, Japan $350 billion opportunity have, but some challenges facing, which is some of you maybe already knows that the population of Japan is reducing, and there is a huge shortage of engineer, especially for the new platform. And then there is some lacking of the global skill, like Japanese people. Some of them they're really good in English, but a lot of people, they have kind of weakness for English. And compare with US and European Union, I think Japan also have less outsourcing experience. So this the four challenges area Japan need to recover from now to keep this IT service share and the market of the world. And from my experience about Bangladesh, we have a huge population, have 160 million people, and the average age of our nation is 23 years. A lot of young generation and power we have, and availability of engineer. As I know, we have 130 university and have 500 college under national university. So computer science, mechanical engineer, physics, mathematics. Every year, 100,000 engineers are graduating every year. So we have a lot of engineers in Bangladesh, and high English skill. Maybe some of you already knows that TOEIC, Bangladesh become #1 in the world at 2013. Still, we have very nice score in English. And outsourcing capability, I'm not talking about IT industry, but our garments industry, we have a very nice, very good experience on outsourcing in garment industry. And of course, in software industry also, we are having good experience for outsourcing. So I can say that Japan have a demand. It means shortage of engineer, and then there is some lacking of English skill. But Bangladesh, we have a lot of engineers, and then we know English. So to me, it looks like nice and best business matching between Japan and Bangladesh. So my understanding, Japan, outsourcing destination of Japan is, I'm talking about not only software. What I studied that computer, Japan, work very closely as a partner, Taiwan. And Taiwan, they becomes very, popular for the computer hardware, and they are kind of #1 now. Though they have a lot of factory in China, but still Taiwan is #1. Electronics, China work closely with Japan, and of course, China learn a lot of things, and they becomes quite. They increase their quality, and now they becomes a very big industry, like they're making electronics with the support of Japan. Car industry, very close to here, Thailand. I found that a lot of car plant is in Thailand. Of course, this is Thailand also Japan also helped Thailand to make the plants and quality, everything. So they become very good outsourcing partner of Japan. And Apparel, I think China, Bangladesh, Vietnam, these three countries is now, I mean, doing business with Japan as a partner. So IT outsourcing partner of Japan, who is? This is the question. I think Japan is working closely, not closely with China, because Chinese people know Japanese. Not Japanese, they know kanji, which is quite close to Japanese language. Also, Japan is working with Vietnam and India. But I think China and India, the price is increasing rapidly. And Vietnam, they're doing good, but I don't think they have too much engineer, and they also have some problem in English skill. So I believe that Bangladesh, we have opportunity. We are ready to be partner of Japan for software outsourcing because we have a high skill for global language like English, and with the support of the government, Japan, we are also learning Japanese business culture, which is financed by JICA. This is like, the name of this program is BJET. And the price is, I mean, if we compare with China and India, I believe that some area is still where our price is lower than, almost 30 to 50% with China. I mean, in price also, we are very competitive market now. And availability of engineer, more than what I said, that 100,000 engineers are graduating, and a lot of engineers now is still waiting for job. Why Bangladesh can be the outsourcing partner of Japan? To me, it looks like tax, our government policy, few policy, I think is very good. One of them is, corporate tax holiday until 2023. Software company, IT company, they don't need to pay any corporate tax. Also, last year, our government, they started 10% incentive for export, which is also, I think, very attractive for foreign investor. If they make company in Bangladesh, they will have kind of incentive from our government. And 100% foreign ownership, I think a lot of country around here, they have some kind of rule that you need a local partner to make a company. But I believe Bangladesh, foreign people also make 100% company, which is, I think, very good policy of Bangladesh. This, success story of garments export, which all of you knows that this becomes a very high competence for our outsourcing. This is 2017. If I'm looking this data, Bangladesh becomes second biggest exporter of the garments, which is almost $30 billion. As I know, last year was $35 billion, and this year our government, not our government, our industry also focusing $40 billion. So this is one of the competence we have. Like, we can also do the same outsourcing for software IT also. And outsourcing cost of India and China is increasing rapidly. You can see this is a data of India is 2005 and 2012. The cost becomes almost 2.4. But now, I think 2018, their cost becomes almost 4 times. And I think Bangladesh also fit for global segmentation, which is, we say, for Japan, we have English-oriented projects and Japanese-oriented projects. English-oriented, like India, Eastern Europe, they are working. But I hope that this area we can also work, and also the Japanese-oriented market, where China is working mostly. This area also, I believe that if we learn Japanese, then we also have a good opportunity to work for Japanese project too. This is in Japanese, I'm sorry. This is newspaper news of Japanese Asahi Shimbun. It shows that the TOEIC test of the world, Bangladesh becomes #1 and India is #2.
This is 2014 data. I mean, I want to say that Bangladesh have a lot of engineers who knows English and is really, it's better than India. Also our IT, this is export data of Bangladesh IT is expanding like 200%, 300% per year. As I know, our government announced that last year sales was $800 million US, and this year it will exceed $1 billion. So this all shows that Bangladesh IT also expanding, and we have Bangladesh have a great opportunity to be partner of Japan for outsourcing of software. And also, government is trying to make the high-tech park, which I hope that within 2-3 years, a lot of company, they will move to high-tech, and it will help, I mean, software company to provide more good service to the global market. This is from my experience. I am working with Japan last 30 years. To be success with Japan, I mean, for business, in terms of business, key of success is keep commitment. This is very serious in Japan. I mean, when you make a commitment for projects, like deadline, you have to deliver it on time. So not only I'm talking about projects, even a commitment, everything. Keep commitment is very important in Japan. Second, I think Japan quality. This we need to learn. BGIT also 19 years we are working with Japan. First 3 years almost we didn't have any projects because 2-3 years we just learned the quality. Nowadays we know I mean what is Japanese quality, and this is also helping us to expand our business. Number 3, I think if we can study Japanese language and Japanese business culture, which Japanese government also helping us and funding us, this is also, I think, this will help us to expand our business with Japan. And Japanese people, from my experience, they looks like little, what can I say? I mean, they're not too much, they don't look like too much warm or what, but they are very good, you know. So if you become friend of Japanese and you can touch their heart, I think this will also help us to create business, because Japanese people, they respect the relationship with people. If you help them, they will help you. It's, in English is give and take. If you help one, maybe they will help you too. So it's like one deal business, just on projects and make profit. It will not, it's not good for Japanese business. If you want to work with Japanese company, you have to make a long plan and you have to help them, support them. Then you have opportunity to continue the business. Which area of Japan now have shortage of engineer? From our sales data, I am providing this. We have big sales team and we are working with Japanese company. So I think fintech area, this is very, very, I mean, Japan have a lot of shortage of engineers. Also AI, I mean, AI also nowadays is getting very popular, and Japan don't have engineer. And industrial IoT and robotics, these two areas also nowadays have shortage of engineers. And enterprise Java, cloud computing, SAP, Salesforce. If this new platform we can prepare engineer, we can train up them, I'm sure we have a huge opportunity to win more projects from Japan. I hope our engineers, they are very talented and they already have the basic foundation from university. So these things are new technology. Maybe they didn't have opportunity to learn in university, but they just brush up them, or we can prepare some training that they will be able to work for this new platform. You know, this is India IT export record. 2020 India export was only $4 billion. And then last year, India announced that their export was $120 billion. It means only 18 years, their export expand 30 times. It is a huge, huge success story of India. Um, and this is Wipro, one of a good company in India. I also like this company. So you can see their data, they start from 1981. And then it's like they took 15 years to 20 years to make the foundation. And they grow like this. And of course, now they have 3 lakh employees. I'm not, I'm not advertising my company, but what I'm looking at, this is my company data. I mean, I start from 2001 with 10 engineers. Now I have 600, and I hope next year I can be 1,000. So I can see that same things is happening in Bangladesh. It's not only my company, like DataSoft and lot of software company I know, they are growing like us. So I can see the same kind of success stories is coming to us if we can prepare ourselves. Mission Impossible, my favorite movie is Mission Impossible, but I love the word Mission Possible. So I think next 10 years, I can see that if we can prepare ourselves, we can learn new technology, next 10 years, IT export will touch $20 billion. This is, I can say. And at least there will be 10 IT company, 10 IT company will grow with 10,000 plus employee. India now have 200 company who have over than 10,000 employee. I believe it will happen in Bangladesh. And I think IT outsourcing share will be number 2 in the world. Same like in garments industry. China is number 1, but Bangladesh, we becomes number 2. I can say after 10 years, of course, India, they are big and they have a lot of engineers, so it will be very difficult for us to beat them. But I can say we can be number 1 within 10 years after India. This is BGIT group growth, and from my belief, I also make some plan like this. I think 2023, we can grow 5,000 employee, and 10 years, BGIT, you can grow like 30,000 engineer company. Same things I'm expecting from our other company. I hope that this kind of opportunity we have, if we take it seriously, we have opportunity to do that. This is a news I'm sharing. January, Minister Motegi, he is Minister of the, Economic Planner, visited Bangladesh, meet with our Prime Minister, and he announced that Japan is ready to support Bangladesh IT. That time, Minister also visited some company, BGIT was one of them. I believe Japan also ready to support us. Now it's time, if we can prepare ourselves and we can work with Japan more closely, we have a great opportunity to catch more projects from Japan, and we can reach to our goal, like within 10 years, $20 billion IT market. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. J.M. Akbar, founder of BGIT Group. It was quite good and detailed presentation, and some nice information was there. And thank you again. So I think we know about this friendship of Bangladesh and Japan. Always we used to say, tell that Bangladesh and Japan is a good friend. Nowadays we are saying Japan and Bangladesh is a best friend. You know, so this is the friendship actually. The name is JETRO is providing always this type of support to government and to corporate. It is separately. So JETRO is introducing Bangladesh market by JETRO point of view, and the contents of the support from JETRO Dhaka when Japanese companies are coming to Bangladesh and Bangladesh market. So right now we are requesting this country representative of JETRO, Arai-san. Arai-san is here with us and his nice presentation. Please, Arai-san.
Thank you, Chairman. And distinguished guests, very good afternoon. My name is Alai from Jetro Dhaka. And today I explain some comprehensive Bangladesh business climate in the point of view from Japanese investors. 日本のお客様はですね、同じスライドの日本語版をすでに配布させ、まだしてない、失礼しました。配布をしていたことになっていますので、また後で見ていただければと思います。ちょっと時間が限られていますので、パッとお話しします。So I think many of Japanese is the very first time to come to Bangladesh over the very few times, and for Bangladesh people, I think is something fresh, kind of fresh information that to see your own country. And about the GDP growth, very stable for these 10 years, and no negative impact, even no negative impact by financial crisis of 2007 and 2008. And that is because of the, say, no connectivity of, to the Southeast Asia. And see, you can see the very also stable compared to other Asian countries. The blue thick line is the Bangladesh GDP growth. And the factor of those rising economy is supported by, say some example. One is the foreign exchange reserve, as the sufficient foreign exchange reserve over 33 billion US dollar. And even current account turns to deficit, it keeps remains. And as for the export, over 80% still rely on the RMG, ready-made garment, but it is increasing due to the relocating production from China. And this is the main, what to say, one of the main brand that provide from Bangladesh, and one of the, what to say, very famous brand, Uniqlo to Japan. And I really, Japan really jealous this graph that Bangladesh now enjoying demographic dividend, and the average age is only 23 years old and very young country. But I need to mention that abundant labor force doesn't mean that abundant skilled labors. And another factor for the rising economy is supporting the remittance by overseas employees. And now is something decline, but 60% from Middle East. And as for the Asia, 10% is shared by Malaysia. And according to the rising economy, national income is soaring dramatically. And by 2021, it is the 50th anniversary of Bangladesh, and same as my age, and accomplish the digital Bangladesh. And for the consumer market, and modern trade is appearing gradually, still over 90% share by the trading, traditional trading. But there are some very modern, what to say, supermarket in the city. And for the upper class, can get anything at hyper store. And to tell them the truth that for me, this is my second assignment in Bangladesh, and I was here 20 years ago, and in 20 years ago, I never imagined that kind of the supermarket appears. And so now the trend of the Japanese companies is very steadily increasing, and now we counted around 280 Japanese companies locating in Bangladesh. and very sorry, very, in detail. And the reason that why the Japanese companies chooses Bangladesh is Bangladesh still enjoy the competitiveness of low cost. And you can see that Bangladesh is the lowest one. For example, the manufacturing worker is only $109 per month. And even annually, Bangladesh is the lowest one. And over 70% of Japanese companies expect their expansion in the next 1 to 2 years, and they expect the future still more rising. And almost this is the employment of the local employment, and almost 50% of Japanese companies has expanded or will expand their local employment. And this is a recent trend which JETRO got inquiries from Japanese companies since we received almost 950 Japanese businessmen, not only from Japan, but also from like Singapore and Thailand and other countries, the third countries. And we categorize recent inquiry in 3 sectors. And one is according to the big ODA project, and also the local enterprises increase their capital investment. So there are plant equipment and industrial machinery companies comes to Bangladesh. And another one is steel and more apparel or textile related companies comes to Bangladesh, especially these 1 years. And this is related to this session, and BJT contributes a lot that lack of human resources in Japan, and lots of IT-related companies comes to Bangladesh for the offshore development, and also research the IT human resources. And we selected some potential sectors for the Japanese investors. That one is processed food and another consumer goods. And which leads to this slides that the left one is the high priority sectors designated by the Bangladesh government. And according to the Bangladesh government's requirement, we select some potential sectors in a point of view from Japanese companies. And number one is the processed food. And this is not for export, for the domestic market. And the next one is ICT, definitely for the human resource export to Japan, which BJT contributes a lot. And third one is light engineering, and this is not for the domestic market and even not for the export. And we think that the human resources for Japan and safe scenario of ICT. And added to that, the consumer goods is has a big potential. And about IT, and Akbar-san mentioned very in detail, so I skip it. But I have to mention about this slide that there are over 500,000 freelance in Bangladesh. And they occupy 60% of gig economy in the world, and next to India. On the other hand, and the IT infrastructure is still on the journey. And it means that Bangladesh has potential to grow more and more. And ranked, you can see, ranked now is 148 position. And from here, I need to mention about the risk to operate the business in Bangladesh. And figures will not tell lies. And maybe many Bangladesh are very familiar with these figures. And we assess the bottleneck for doing business in Bangladesh in these 4 categories. One is lack of infrastructure and weakness of governance and compliance. And the taxation system, almost the Japanese companies suffer from those taxation system in Bangladesh. And very fortunately, a lack of skilled workforce apart from the IT sectors. And this is a data by the Japanese companies that are located in Bangladesh. And this is the data what the average days required from the arrival of the freight at the airport or the seaport. And the left one is the seaport. After the arrival of the cargo, it requires almost 16 days, one of the worst in Asia. And about the air freight in Dhaka airport, this is unfortunately the worst one. It takes almost 8 days. 8 days by air freight is not the air freight. And you see, this is the picture which I took at the Dhaka airport. And say from June, the water season starts. And so you see there is no roof and water damage and lost baggage is very, very common for the air freight. And this is very familiar with you. And today is also like this. Maybe tomorrow also. And this is over 26% of Japanese companies recognize and realize that import clearance procedures getting worse. And this is a graph for the Japanese companies operating in Bangladesh, and the management deeply concerns about the difficulty in quality control, quality of employees, time-consuming custom procedures, and recently the increased wages. And this is a last slide that, as I say that, as I mentioned that, especially for the food processed sectors and also the consumer items, there is a huge market in Bangladesh, but actually for the Japanese manufacturers hesitate to penetrate into Bangladesh because of the too high import tariff. Say this is the example like a diaper, the import tariff is 130%, and like you see the energy drink, have you seen the Pocari Sweat? Pocari Sweat by Otsuka Pharmaceutical is very common in Japan. Is 300% of the import duty. And say, for example, I explain about the diaper compared to Pakistan. The market size of Pakistan is about 20 billion taka. And on the other hand, the Bangladesh market is Pakistan's market size is 20 billion taka. But Bangladesh size is 5 billion taka, means 1/4. And you can see that the population is almost same. And but why so big difference is that the custom duty, not only the custom duty, the import tariff in Pakistan is only 30%. So now in Pakistan, the leading manufacturers like P&G and Unicharm and so on start to manufacture in Pakistan. And say set up the factory means the employees saw lots of employment, and also in the future tries to export, especially to the Middle East or Africa and so on. So I can say, I want to say that Bangladesh needs to compete with those kinds of countries. And definitely without with these kinds of the policy, no manufacturers let's say, like to enter in the Bangladesh market. So now, sorry, always I take a nap in this time and there's a alarm. And always, and now we are negotiating with the Ministry of Industry and also Prime Minister's Office about these things. So definitely there's a huge potential in Bangladesh, but anything may happen in Bangladesh as well. And I'd like to say that JETRO welcomes all of the Japanese company and try to support. But please understand that there is so many times that that is not what we talked. But in the future, I hope that does not happen like this. But anyway, so a very interesting market and emerging market, and it's very high potential. Thank you very much.